Welcome to the deep dive. So you've given us some really interesting sources to look at today. We've got the Liat Show and Beth's TV and film recommendations.
Yeah, both hosted on Substack.
Exactly. And we've got their About pages, this early collaborative post they did.
Right.
And our goal really is to unpack what they offer, individually, and also why this partnership they seem to be starting is noteworthy.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like you, interested in, efficient knowledge and maybe some fresh takes.
Absolutely. And the first thing that jumps out is how different their approaches seem, even though they're collaborating. Let's start with the Liat Show.
Okay.
It's not just like a standard blog. It calls itself a story unfolding across timelines.
Intriguing.
And when you look at the description, that's really the heart of it. It's all about weaving together things you might not expect. History, music, science, business, art, food.
Wow, that's broad.
Yeah, and personal stories too. The idea seems to be finding these hidden connections between different fields, giving you a more maybe holistic view.
And the person behind it, Liat Portal. Her background sounds fascinating. Daughter of a storyteller and an architect.
Exactly. So she's positioned as this architect of stories, not just telling them, but constructing them by layering these different elements.
Which makes sense with the unfolding across timelines idea.
Right. And another key thing, the audience, so you, the reader, you're actually framed as part of this unfolding story. An essential part, even.
Okay, so it's interactive in a sense.
Seems like it, yeah. And the structure is interesting, too. She apparently releases content in sets of episodes, often over a few days. But they're designed to connect to flow, ideally from the beginning. So it's not just random thoughts dropped here and there.
Right, there's an intentional design.
And she writes on weekends and evenings, publishing as things happen. It gives it this almost live performance feel,
Yeah, like you're watching it develop. I saw those taglines, a journey through time.
And please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride through time. It definitely signals something dynamic.
And it's reader-supported, right?
Yes, fundamentally. Which brings us to the platform itself, Substack.
Right, where both of these live. It's described as a home for great culture.
Which is a nice way to put it. Essentially, it's a platform that lets creators like Liat and Beth publish newsletters, podcasts, directly to their audience.
Cutting out the middleman, basically.
Pretty much. And that direct connection is, I think, really key here. It fosters engagement, and you can see how it might lead to organic things like this collaboration popping up.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's talk about that collaboration. There's this post from May 2025, Let the Journey Begin.
Yes. And this is what feels really, really unique. Most stories about partnerships, you hear them years later, right?
Yeah.
Looking back.
Like a polished retrospective version.
Exactly. But this post documents the very start. Like the 0 point of them deciding to work together, they're sharing it as it happens.
So it's genuinely in real time. That is unusual.
It really is. They talk about how they first connected, also on Substack, engaging with each other's posts, particularly about food, apparently.
Huh? Okay. A digital meet cute over food.
Sort of. There's this mention of differing views on shakshuka and jaknan, which sounds quite specific.
That's great. Humanizes it straight away.
Right. And it highlights how rare this is. We're used to the finished product, the successful outcome. This is the messy beginning unfolding right now.
Started as just subscribers to each other's work.
Online acquaintances. Then Liat actually picked up the phone to pitch her idea. They both make a point of saying how, making a call felt significant.
In our text and email world, yeah, I get that.
And Beth's reaction is very honest excitement, but also that whoa, can I actually do this kind of feeling?
Wow.
That bit of self-doubt.
Very relatable. And the Liat's perspective, she brings in her tech background.
Yeah, she mentions how hard it can be to find the right partners for something new, something innovative. Hints at the challenges in the business world.
So witnessing this connection form and them sharing it so openly is kind of the point.
Absolutely. And get this, inside that first post, they include a review of their own budding partnership.
A review of themselves.
Yeah, review. Liat and Beth. A modern friendship and business idea in the making. They even gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, that's meta and fun.
Isn't it? And the review calls it a refreshingly human tale of online friendship, creative chemistry. It stresses how it's about alignment, shared vision, not perfection from day one.
I like that.
And this line is gold. It compares the whole thing to if Nora Ephron directed a tech startup origin story.
Huh. That paints a picture, that mix of warmth and Innovation.
Precisely.
Okay, so that's the collaboration starting. How does Beth's own publication, Beth's TV and film recommendations, fit in? What's her focus?
Right, so Beth Lisagorski's Substack is called A Welcoming, Non-Judgy Place for TV and Film Lovers.
Sounds approachable.
Yeah, and she has a solid background, film and TV analyst, pop culture critic, written for various places. So she brings real expertise in, analyzing stories and culture.
So it's more than just watch this.
Definitely. It seems focused on prestige TV, quality film, offering recommendations, sure, but also reviews and commentary that dig a bit deeper, looking at the why behind the what's.
Helping you understand culture through what you watch.
That seems to be the idea. There's a quote from a reader, Kim Dakin, saying, Beth writes about life writ large, not just film and TV.
Ah, so using media as a lens on bigger things.
Exactly. Relationships, drama, mystery, comedy, the stuff of life, as the source mentions, which clearly connects to the kind of human-centric stories Liat seems interested in, too.
Okay, I see the potential overlap there. Beth has collaborated before.
Yeah, the info mentions she co-authored a book, so she has experience working with others creatively.
And her role in that initial joint post doing the review, that really plays into her skills, doesn't it? Analyzing their own story like she'd analyze a film narrative.
It's a really clever integration, yeah. Framing their real-life journey through her professional lens.
Okay, so it makes sense why someone might be interested in following both individually. Why push subscribing as founding or annual member specifically?
Well, because both are reader-supported. That's the model. For the Liat Show, you're essentially backing Liat's promise to create something new and maybe unseen before, weaving all those diverse threads together.
You become part of enabling that unfolding story you're reading.
Exactly. Helping unlock that potential, as they put it. And for Beth's TV and film.
Subscribing gets you, what, weekly recommendations, reviews, commentary? Seems like it could save you time wading through streaming options.
That's a big part of the value proposition, yeah. Cutting through the noise, the decision fatigue. Plus, there's bonus content for paid subscribers, deeper dives, maybe connecting seemingly unrelated things.
And ultimately, supporting them lets them focus more on actually doing the writing, creating the content you value.
Right. It directly fuels the work.
And it seems like people are responding. There was a statistic about their reach.
Yeah, pretty impressive. They mention readers tuning in from 87 countries and 34 U.S. states already.
Wow, 87 countries. That's significant global interest.
It really is. Places like California, New York here in the U.S., but also the U.K., Australia, Germany, South Africa.
Wow.
It shows the appeal crosses borders.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, what are the main takeaways for you, the listener?
Well, I think you've got the Liat Show offering this very unique, almost experimental, real-time story that blends a lot of different fields.
And inviting you along for the ride as it's built.
And then Beth's TV and film provides this sharp, insightful commentary on culture through the lens of shows and movies, helping you understand things more deeply, efficiently.
And their collaboration is this rare chance to see a creative partnership forming from, like, ground zero, documented as it happens.
Which, for someone interested in how things are made, how ideas come together, that's fascinating in itself. You're not just getting the final product. You're getting a peek behind the curtain at the very, very beginning.
So, definitely worth checking out directly. You can search Substack for The Liat Show or Beth's TV and film recommendations to see their work and how this collaboration develops.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
Consider this. How might this kind of open, real-time sharing of a creative journey, the ups, the downs, the figuring it out moments, how might that change how we understand collaboration itself? Or innovation? Or even just the stories we consume?
Seeing the process, not just the results, that definitely gives you something to think about.